When She Wore the Amulet by Baby Cord. The cold winds of the ever-free whispered secrets between the twisted trunks of gnarled trees. A storm gathered on the horizon, not of weather, but of fate. Trixie Lula Moon stood alone. Cloaked in a star-speckled cape, hooves trembling ever so slightly as she stared at the object before her, nestled in a glass case, pulsating faintly with crimson light. Nestled in a glass case, pulsating faintly with crimson light, sat the alicorn amulet. She had spent weeks searching for it. Tales spoke of its forbidden power, its ability to give even the most mundane unicorn unimaginable magic. She didn't hesitate. The lock gave way to her spell. The amulet felt warm in her hooves, as if it pulsed with its own heartbeat. The moment she clasped it around her neck, everything changed. Power. At first it was subtle, a whisper in her mind, a ripple of magic flowing down her horn and out through her veins like liquid fire. Trixie gasped. She could feel the world, the tiny lives of ants crawling beneath the dirt, the roots of trees tangled beneath her hooves, the breath of stars far above. She could feel them all. Her eyes dilated as the stars burned brighter, the forest shuddered, and the very fabric of magic yielded before her. Was this what it was like to be Twilight Sparkle? No, this was more. Twilight was merely a princess. Trixie was ascending. She felt her horn extend, stretching, burning white hot. Wings of light burned from her sides. Immaterial, divine. She rose off the ground, her mane billowing with ethereal wind. Trixie was an alicorn. And then something opened. A door in her mind, vast and ancient, swung wide. She knew the secrets of the world. The ancient wars between the three pony tribes. The bitter frost of Windigo still lingering in the air like old smoke. The deceit of discord and the error of untime he bought. The slow crawl of history written in the bones of empires long gone. She saw Star Swirl's final experiment, buried beneath mountains, still humming in quiet desperation. And she kept knowing. She reached backward, past time, past memory, to a world of strange bipedal beings, humans, they called themselves, cities of glass, machines that screamed into the void. They warred like dragons, devoured their own world, and sang songs to gods who never answered. And then even they vanished. Trixie's breath caught in her throat. She tried to stop, but the amulet clung tighter to her soul. She saw the earth cool, break and dissolve. The stars died, the universe aged. She watched all of it, not in sequence, but all at once. Every scream, every birth, every betrayal, it flowed through her like fire through thin glass. And still she kept knowing. Beyond the edge of history, the edge of memory, there was the void. Before there was time, before matter or light or thought, there were the shadows. She couldn't describe them. Her brain tried to picture teeth or eyes or claws, but the shapes didn't fit. They weren't creatures. They weren't even entities. They were conceptual wounds in reality, fissures of thought, beings that hungered not for flesh, but for coherence itself. They saw her. No, they had always seen her. One whispered her name, not Trixie, not Lulamoon, but her true name, the one written in the quiet between heartbeats, the one she had forgotten before birth. And Trixie screamed. But her mouth did not open. Her body was not hers. She had no body anymore. She was falling upward, folding across dimensions, her consciousness stretching like string through an infinite lattice of realms, colliding with alternate selves. A Trixie that never wore the amulet, a Trixie who became a villain, a Trixie who died in a cart fire at age 5. They smashed into her like waves, each memory burning, each life lived in a blink and lost again. She wasn't alone. The shadows were there behind her eyes, speaking in fractured light. They showed her a universe shaped like a spiral, eating itself with every turn. They showed her twilight sparkle, buried under layers of false reality. They showed her Celestia, smiling not out of kindness but out of pity, for she knew that all things must someday feed the thing in the dark. Trixie clawed at her mind. "Stop!" she thought, or screamed, but thought and voice were the same now. "I don't want this!" The amulet pulsed.
"You asked for power,"
the voice said, not in words, but in unavoidable truth.
"and this is power. This is what alicorns forget, what gods must forget, to rule a world and not weep. This is what lies behind the stars."
Trixie wept, or maybe the universe wept through her. She saw the folds of reality, like pages of a book, with lies written in blood and flame. Ponies were accidents, Equestria a blink. Magic itself was just a thin film stretched across an ocean of screaming. The alicorn amulet had no allegiance. It was not evil. It was not good. It was a key, a gate, and Trixie had opened it. She felt her soul shatter not like glass, but like ideas. It splintered into thoughts and concepts, scattered across billions of planes. One fragment fell into a dimension of endless fire, another blinked out, erased from every timeline simultaneously. Another begged for death in a world of silence. And still, she remained. Still, something of Trixie lingered. The amulet wanted a bearer, a mind, a host, a puppet. And so it reassembled her, not from memory, but from meaning. It pulled together a Trixie made of pride, shame, longing, loneliness, arrogance, and hope. It built her again, not as she was, but as she was perceived by the world. A caricature, a showmare, a joke. And into that form, it poured the horror she now knew. Trixie awoke screaming. She lay in the mud of Ponyville, the sky a shattered canvas of twisting stars. Ponies around her were frozen mid-motion, their bodies contorted like marionettes, eyes wide with unspoken terror. Twilight Sparkle stood nearby, her horn glowing, her face pale. The amulet was gone from Trixie's neck. "You don't know," Trixie sobbed. "You don't know what it showed me." Twilight moved to speak, but something stopped her. A flicker of movement across the stars, a smile too large to be real. Trixie looked up and screamed again. She could still see them, behind reality, watching, waiting. The alicorn amulet had left her, but the knowledge, the knowing, never would. In every shadow she saw motion. In every silence a whisper. Trixie was back, but she would never be whole again. And somewhere far beyond even the furthest reaches of time, a wound in space pulsed in laughter.
touched the stone that whispered fate, a gift of power at the edge of hate. The stars grew louder, the ground withdrew, and every ancient tale was true. I rose, I burned, I felt the void. The world beneath me was destroyed. I saw the shade beyond the veil, where time dissolves and gods grow pale. They spoke my name I'd never known, and stitched it into flesh and bone. You call it magic, call it fate, but I unlock the silent gate. Every life I could have been, shattered mirrors beneath my skin. Trixie the Great, that name is gone. I am what watches when stars move on. The Amulet left, but not the sight. I see them dancing in the light. You cannot lead, you cannot reign, when knowing crawls inside. You are free. What lies behind the stars is true, and now it's staring back at you. The alicorn dream, a cursed delight, a scream that burns beyond the night. No spell, no stage remains, just shadows singing through my veins. I am fire, broken. I am what comes after knowing.
It's the Mystery Pony Fiction channel. Also available on Spotify. And Izzy Moonbow is best pony, by the way. Brohof. Comment. Subscribe. Ring the